my fellow citizens of all nations. Image life without anger. What is very interesting about anger is that it is very interesting topic. And everybody, every single one of us, suffers from anger. We are angry sometimes because of just reasons, sometimes because of unjust reasons, sometimes because of selfish reasons. And we experience anger. And then what we do when we are angry? We suffer. One of the most important things about anger is to realize simple fact. When you are angry, you are the one who suffers. It's not the thing or people or some event that suffers from it. You are the one who suffers. Anger usually clouds your judgment. Anger affects you badly. Anger does no good to the human body as well and to you as well, because now instead of being productive, instead of doing right things, you are angry. And that anger damages your body, damages your health, and most of all, and most importantly, damages peace in your mind. Now, I think we should make clear distinction between events that might anger us and people, because it is two different topics. There are events such as wars, unnecessary suffering, some ideas that bring a lot of suffering. And there are specific people that make us angry. Very specific people. And in this situation, we need different approach. For example, if people make you angry, like certain people, think about it this way. Point is this. Think about this way. There are billions of people on the planet, right? And you allow 10% to anger you. Whatever they do, why does it matter? They're just 10 random people. There are billions of people out there. It is completely unnecessary to allow some people to ruin your mood, anger you, get on your nerves, when it is such an unimportant topic. There are so many people out there. And the fact that there are some people that anger you, some people that lack manners, that, I've experienced bullying myself. And it is always interesting, because when people usually, for example, try to bully me, first of all, sometimes they're impressed by how much I don't care. And what is interesting is that I follow the principle that I've shared with you right now. To me, a person that tries to anger me or bully me, to me, that person is just one person. And there are billions of people out there. Why would I allow some one person to ruin my mood? It's not like I really care. And I realize the most important principle. If I were to get angry, if I were to allow this to get to me, I would be the one who suffers. The story of Buddha, basically. When a person approaches Buddha, basically, and person tells Buddha a lot of mean things, and person is very angry, and Buddha doesn't react at all. And person is shocked and calms down and asks Buddha, why didn't you react? I've cursed you and insulted you for hours already. Why have you just paid no attention to me? And Buddha explains that it's like a poisoned food. If somebody were to hand you a poisoned food, offered you a poisoned food and you don't take it, right? Then it only means that the poison stays with the person that tried to give you the poison. In the same way that emotions, that negative, destructive feelings, that negative feelings stays with the person. And this is a principle I'm actually using to understand something or to understand things. It also helps us to forgive, not forgive necessarily, but to deeply understand. When people are in a certain situation, they might grow in some day, and you have to hope that one day these people will grow up and they are on their journey. Now, this is when people anger you. Basically, all you do, you realize and you understand first is that if you get angry, you are the one who suffers, and that's the most important. Just even from like purely selfish reason, even if you don't care about some great teachings and etc. I assume you should care about yourself, right? You have to understand that when you are angry, you are the one who suffers and not that person. That person doesn't suffer at all. In fact, probably people that are very rude to you and try to anger you, they probably don't even care about you. You are the one who cares about them. So yeah, that's it. Like, sometimes you have to understand that life is so interesting. Life is so full. Life is so beautiful and so intriguing and so interesting that you should not waste your life thinking about all these unnecessary stuff, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Let me repeat it. It absolutely doesn't matter what these people think, what these people say. For you, what should matter is yourself. And another thing is to understand is that sometimes people might not even be trying to anger you. It's just you. It just you have such a soft skin that everything gets to you, and it's really cannot be helped. Like, you have to work on yourself. And instead of, before you get angry, realize this: you have probably a lot of things going on in your life, and when you get angry, sometimes you might be actually getting angry at the wrong thing and at the wrong people, or not just people, but toward the wrong thing, right? You just have this moment of explosion where some person might anger you, and you feel like all the issues and all your stuff is related to this person, so you might get unnecessarily emotional and unnecessarily angry, while in reality other things are what cause your anger. At the same time, it is very important to realize that when we get angry toward political, ideological issues, we have to understand that, it would be very arrogant to just assume that everybody is sick and you are only healthy one. It would be incredibly arrogant. And it would be also incredibly arrogant to assume that just because certain number of people agree with each other, you should also agree with them because they think so. In fact, most people, we don't live necessarily, but sometimes we just exist. Sometimes we just try to survive. And when you get angry towards such issues, such political, ideological issues, and think about how these people could be not this and that, just humble yourself first. Don't be so arrogant. Yes, you might even be right. I'm not even saying that you might be wrong about certain stuff, but humble yourself in that sense that we are all human beings, and it is what it is. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Idea that you should get angry about it, what does it fix? Sometimes people usually try, and when people are usually on that mindset that they are angry at certain ideologies, they usually try to write or do some resentful stuff. So what they do is that instead of helping those people, they just make those people even more fanatical and even more angry and even more sure in their political or ideological beliefs in general. And there is always different approaches toward issues. And if you approach something from point of resentment and a lot of hatred, what you're going to sow is hatred, not solutions, not anything positive. It is very easy to have disdain, to hatred. It is a lot more difficult to approach issue from the point of love and understanding. And I think what really matters is love, in the sense that you should live a full life. Most of the time we suffer in our imaginations far more than we suffer in reality. In reality, we might not suffer at all. We are just addicted to emotions of anger, emotions of suffering, emotions, pain, and etc. We are just genuinely addicted to these feelings. Just like people get addiction toward cigarettes, alcohol, or drugs, and even food, fast food. People have that type of addiction as well. Or people are addicted to training, to gym. People are addicted to reading books. Believe it or not, people are addicted to a lot of stuff. And one of interesting addictions that usually stays hidden is emotional addictions. Emotional addictions toward certain things. And anger is fundamental on emotions. People are addicted to emotions, and if they don't feel these emotions, they somehow going to get them. They are going to watch certain dramas or something they want, and we crave as a human being certain emotions, and we find certain emotions much more desirable than the other emotions, which is a personal preference, I believe, and it is hard to say. Some people are just addicted to constructive emotions. At the end of the day, we have to understand that society we live in, society of our contemporaries, it is very unimportant in that sense that in a grand scale of life, fundamentally, philosophically, nothing really matters. Nothing, absolutely nothing really matters. Even us, probably most people will live and die in belief that what they did through of their life was the best they could.